American half pound of 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, bad to the bone, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Steve McGowan, your favorite orangutan.
And I'm a orangutan handler, I don't know, or aficionado, Adrienne and Meddock. And we're in a band, the Beef People, who released a single in 1986 on our own label, Zub Records. But we're record collectors and passionate. Especially, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. Especially about the expression of pop music perfection that is the single recording. Exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast. And this is episode number...
Singles Going Steady 089.
089. And we have a great single.
Yes.
And the group is from Athens, Georgia, and it's called...
The group are the Method Actors.
The Method Actors, and our single is
Rang-a-Tang.
As you can probably tell from the opening, Rang-a-Tang.
Yes.
Tang.
There's a lot going on here with this band. They are from Athens.
They are.
They're a two-man band. Vic Varney and David Gamble. David playing the drums, Vic singing and playing either guitar or bass.
Yeah, and this song, certainly you can hear the guitar singing out, and you hear the drums leading, but lots of other instrumentation as well, especially the bass. Very much featured here. And a funky little number, a weird little number, and just a dance monster of a song.
This is one of our first forays, I think, into what they call post-punk music.
It is, and you know, they began in the late 70s in the very fertile Athens scene, you know, that gave us B-52s and Pylon, later R.E.M.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so their dance was important in Athens. Not dance as we think about, sort of
not like disco.
Not like disco, but bands that would make people in a club dance.
Yes.
And this is very danceable.
This single was released in 1982 on Press Records. There's an interesting bit of a story there. Press was connected with DB Rex, which is Danny Beard and Wax and Facts. Store in 5 Points in Atlanta.
Record store.
They were connected with Armageddon Records in the UK, and I understand that from what I could get talking to our friend Jeff Calder from the Swimming Pool Q's, the man that owned Armageddon Records came from England, moved to Atlanta, and started Press Records. But most of the records were made in Britain.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a confusing story.
So
if you look at a record from back then and it says DB Records, it has the address for where Wax and Facts is. And if you look at a record that says Press Records, it has the same address. So there was something going on there. Jeff didn't know all the ins and outs, but...
and of course, they were on DB Records.
Right.
Rex.
Well, the Swimming Pool Q's were on DB Rex. Yes, absolutely. This Method Actor single is on Press. And they were on Armageddon in the UK, which is basically the same thing. It's kind of confusing, but basically what would happen was when the first Method Actors LP came out, all the copies that were in Wax and Facts were made in Britain. Okay, so that's...
Even though that's the location is listed as the site of the label. So this is a very European sounding group to me in a lot of ways.
Very minimalistic.
Straight out of that sort of post-punk Gang of Four.
Yes. Metal box era, PIL, sort of very low-end bass and kind of scratchy, noisy, guitar-ish top.
Right. and so, but out of Athens, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right? So we've got that hotline to what was happening in the UK.
Right. So let's play the single. We
yes.
talked about it for a long time. This is a great song. It's called Tang, The Method Actors, 1982, Press Records. So there it is, The Method Actors. What do you think makes it a great single?
I think what makes that a great single is, boy, it's just so catchy, mm-hmm. right? It's undeniably catchy.
Yeah.
I think what they do, the thing that really sort of roots it in art rock or sort of the art sensibility is the use of space, right? There's quiet,
right. Negative space.
Negative space, yeah. I mean, just as you would have negative space on the canvas, there's negative space
right.
on the recording. And I think it's arty and funny and danceable, and it just has that bass that just keeps you
undeniable,
rolling, right?
Yeah. That kind of funky, low end bass.
Yeah,
it's just really propulsive and moves it along and
keeps your rear wiggling.
Another
Gets it
thing
wiggling,
I like
keeps
is
it wiggling.
the lyrics are interesting. They're all over the place, but they kind of give me. It's not the same, but a kind of like a Jonathan Richman sort of
right.
view.
It's got that innocence but there's a little bit of sort of impressionistic. I mean, it's like you got sort of fragmented images as you're listening to it.
Right. So this one really caught our ear.
It did.
It caught our ear so much that we covered it.
Right. So this was a Beef People cover.
Yes.
And, back in those early days where we were playing for all of those days when we were playing for barflies in our usual small clubs in Greenville, South Carolina. There was one particular incident I remember where after the show, our friend Joey came up just laughing at himself.
Yes,
silly because a very drunk redneck woman came up and said, "Man, I sure hope they play that song, Orangutan. That song is," and she did the clenched fist.
Yeah.
Pulling the wrist back with the clenched fist, kind of like showing, like you're changing gears, going, "That song's bad to the bone." Which, art rock out of Athens, I'm not really sure that it's been thought of as being bad to the bone.
But there we were,
here
we'll take it.
So we'll play a little clip so you can see how bad to the bone it really was.
This is the Beef People doing the Method Actors' Orangutan. So listening to that now, I can't believe how fast we played it.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I swear to God, we all had cocaine problems, although none of us ever did cocaine. I mean, we sound so hopped up.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know if we were just feeding off the energy of the fans demanding, the fan demanding that she hear.
We had no negative
orangutan.
space. We were just
kidding.
blast off to the universe there.
Right.
We're so fast.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good cover, I think.
I think it's
we had
all
a good
in there.
time. Yeah. Bass playing is very good on that, by the way.
Oh, it's bad to the bone.
It is.
Right?
Well, I've heard that said.
Right.
And I was always good at doing anything involving orangutan because I had a lot of facial hair at the time, and I've always kind of looked like a big ape. So
there you go. Right. So
it's a natural fit.
So you
for
were
all of us.
You didn't need to be a method actor.
No,
You were the part. You didn't have to believe you were the part.
I was born that way. So the Method Actors, they weren't around for a long time. The first record was called Little Figures. It's a great post-punk record. There are 2 versions of it. One is a single and one is a double. It has pretty much all the good stuff on it. There were some other records as well. There was a live one that wasn't quite so good.
Or not a favorite from yours, right?
Right.
But who would we recommend? If we had to draw sort of parallels, like who would like method actors? Who really would it appeal to?
I think people that like Gang of Four and people that like Public Image and things like even getting into like the Z Records type stuff, the no wave. It's definitely a post-punk.
Yeah, I'm even getting like maybe even though it's not synthy, but like sort of, I guess because the strong duo image, but some of those synth pop duo. Yeah. We've had the Yazoo,
Soft Cell,
and Soft Cell. So if those are your sorts of things, I think maybe all of that might give you a good grounding to explore method actors.
And Robert Schmid, who was the drummer, again, going back to our friends at Swimming Pool Cues from Atlanta, he ended up leaving the Pool Cues and joining the Method Actors. He was their drummer for quite a long time. And after the Method Actors called it quits, Robert came back to the Pool Cues playing bass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Billy's still the drummer. So, they're all interconnected, all these Athens and Atlanta bands. And the Method Actors are definitely worth your time.
Yeah, they're funky, arty.
Yeah. They're a band that kind of, Bad to the Bone. They kind of been passed by a little bit. They didn't get quite the due that some of the Athens bands did. And they certainly deserve it. Very unique.
Worth your time,
very
for
unique,
sure.
Very interesting. Always like them. Whenever we like a band enough to cover it, it's usually a pretty good sign that we're big fans.
Right. Well, who else could you hear covering this? Anyone?
I don't know.
Not that we did the definitive version.
No,
but
it was definitely not the definitive version. But you'd want to hear somebody give it a bigger treatment. Some band like maybe like Fishbone or something with
right.
horns.
I was thinking somebody, or even like I was thinking Les Claypool in any of his iterations.
Right. Yeah.
Where you've got that putting the bass in the center.
Yeah, he could kill that on the bass, and then you could hear him singing "I'm orangutan." It would be pretty good, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would your people should call their people.
Absolutely, because me and Sean are such good friends
right,
now.
Exactly. We'll leave that for another day.
Yes.
Do you have any other recommendations besides being careful on Twitter?
Well, we were just at a place here in Durham that I just loved. It was it's called the French Bakery.
French Corner Bakery.
French Corner Bakery here.
It's
in
not
Durham.
really on a corner either.
No, but it's kind of a corner building. But,
right.
Chef Benjamin. Excuse me. I remember the first time we went in there, they were playing Plastic Bertrand. So
right. I was like, this is too on the nose.
I'm sold, And he really is a French chef, pastry chef. And we had the pain de chocolat, and it was so good. I'm sorry. I'm a sucker
French
for pastry,
patisserie.
but this was the real deal. And we got a Yule log this year, a little mini Yule log, and it was. We watched him make it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not
it's
something
the real
you
deal.
buy out of the case.
Yeah.
And I believe he gives lessons as well.
You can learn to make baguettes and with the steam infusion and the real way from.
So we'll
French baker.
link to it. But if you're ever in Durham and you want the croissant. You must go.
Right.
You must go.
Little quiche, it's great.
It's a great
deal.
little place. It's fun. It's got all kinds of cool furniture in it, and it's just nice. It's sweet.
Yeah. Well, my recommendation is going to play on the notion of orangutan. In animals. Animals' social media accounts are a lot of fun to follow.
I know.
It's kind of a sad time here. We've lost a couple sort of superstars of the animal social media world.
Right.
Lil Bub just passed, and so you get close just as you do to your own animals. But that's a lot of fun.
It really is
to follow.
Crouton and
we talked about M Crouton, the Twitter account and Instagram account. it as well for Scorewood Equine Sanctuary.
And the British pony that's so fat.
Following the fat pony through the pint-sized farmer. But yeah, I mean, it's, I would have 1,000 animals if I could.
Yes.
I don't want to be a crazy animal hoarder. I'm a crazy enough hoarder as it is.
We check these sites almost every night.
Yeah,
and they're
absolutely.
always, it's a good thing to do before bedtime. It makes you feel good. And you smile and you say, oh, look at the whatever, and it's just it's better than watching the news.
Yeah, there are wild animal cameras. There are captive animal cameras.
Remember we saw that thing with what was it, the raccoon cleaning the deer?
Right.
Yeah.
The possum taking the ticks off a deer's face. So nature's pretty interesting.
Nature's wonderful, huh?
And the way that we're finding out because of trap cameras how animals interact with each other. It's we're learning more and more about our hidden world, which is not quite
their hidden world.
Yeah.
So that's a great recommendation. So this has been Singles Going Steady 089, the crazy danceable post-punk of the Method Actors from Athens, Georgia. Their 1982 single, Rang-a-Tang, Beef People approved, and
Beef People tested.
And bad to the bone.
It is definitely bad to the bone.
100% bad to the bone.
Certified.
And we will talk to you very soon.
Very soon.
Bye. To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records. Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.